This month, Streaming Things is brought to you by our super Patreon supporters, Chester Copperpot, Jade, Jillian Morgan, Aaron Layton, Andrew Gray, Casey McCain, Crystal Trujillo, Jen Robinson, John Collins, Kalisha Reeves, Kate, Kiki Newton, and Will Nash.
Kick.
Welcome back. My name is Chris.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Things, the one podcast to rule them all.
And in the RSS feeds, bind them.
This episode, we're going to be talking about The Rings of Power, episode 6, Udûn. And pleased to talk about it.
What was that episode title, Chris?
Udûn.
How would you like to say it?
Udûn.
Oh, okay. I was trying to get you to go Flame of Udûn.
No, I was going to do that later.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't want to step on your. I didn't mean to step on your thunder. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
You stepped on my Udûn.
Sorry, I'm scooping your Udûn.
I feel like when Gandalf said it, there was kind of an in there. You know, Udûn is how I always thought of it. But maybe he said Flame of Udûn. And I, caught the moment as I was.
Yeah, we could research this, but we're already here. So.
I'm just going to say stuff like I always do.
Yeah.
We just finished watching episode 6. We're going to give our overall thoughts and then break down a play-by-play, scene by scene as we do, and then tread on into our second breakfast where we talk about different lore tidbits or references to Lord of the Rings as a whole that we found. And then just keep journeying on forth as Frodo and Sam did once upon a time into our old Toby section and find the 3 finest scenes in the South Farthing. Talk about our 3 favorite moments in the episode. And then finally cap it off with the one performance to rule them all. Our favorite performance of episode 6. That is what we do. Welcome to all of you. We love you oh so much. We're glad that you're listening. Got a bunch of Rings of Power and House of the Dragon emails still flooding in. We'll use those for our final mailbag at the end of our coverage of these 2 shows, probably, right?
Yeah, that's coming up. Only a couple more weeks for each show. I think it's the 3rd week of October is when these episodes or when these seasons end.
I think so. Exciting times to be a nerd. I tell you what. By the way, we also got a lot of messages on Patreon, tweets, DMs, some of them inappropriate.
Instagram messages.
Yeah. And emails talking about, hey, please continue your coverage of Andor, which we asked you to do if you were interested in that. We heeded that. However, the downloads of the episode do not echo the excitement of some of the people that wrote in, but we're still going to do it. I just think maybe we'll do every 3 episodes. We'll do a breakdown.
Yeah, it won't be weekly. Andor drops in a weird time of the week for us to cover. Like even if we covered it, the episodes wouldn't be able to come out. Our episodes wouldn't be able to come out until like Monday or Tuesday, which is right before the newer episode.
Yeah, they'd be late anyway.
So what we decided to do is we're going to do a quarterly Andor check-in. There is Andor is 12 episodes long, so every 3 episodes we will do a review of the 3 episodes.
Yeah, but just be aware we are watching it and very much enjoying the show. Steve is a Star Wars guy from way back, and he's taking good notes on all the Easter eggs and stuff that we're seeing throughout the Star Wars universe. So do not fret, do not fear.
Don't fret, Boba Fett.
No. Don't be doing that. And keep your eyes peeled for what we should do next after, end of October. Actually, I just fucking had a great idea, Steven.
Oh shit, right here live on the podcast, guys. Settle in.
I know I talked about HBO's The Idol and Steve looked at me aghast because he probably isn't going to watch it, but he would if I made him. And then he's like, okay. But Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities comes out, I think, October 25th, I want to say. It's an 8-episode Netflix show with different directors each episode and just weird Guillermo del Toro stuff. Like,
is it like a nice little Halloween-y, spoopy?
Yeah, it's going to be spoopy. It's going to have an anthology-esque, horror bonanza. It might be really, really fun. I know Anna Lily Emerpour directed one episode. She did The Bad Batch and A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. There was like a DP on a bunch of Del Toro movies that got to direct an episode. David Goyer wrote one of the episodes.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, it's going to be fun. So maybe something like that. I don't know.
I know it's not going to be for a couple months, but I really want us to cover The Last of Us. That's a show that I'm going to be championing.
Oh, that won't be till next year, right?
I know. Yeah. It will early next year, I think.
Yeah. We'll definitely be covering that.
Yeah.
And actually this is my goal.
Let's go.
You heard it here third.
You heard it here third.
I have never played The Last of Us game or the sequel.
What?
I've tried multiple times. It's very scary.
It is very
I've
scary.
seen the opening sequence where he loses this, you know what?
Yeah.
It's very sad.
Yeah.
Like 4 times. That's how many times I've tried to play it. And every time I'm like, this is good. No. Get to the clickers and I'm like, I wish somebody was in the room with me while I do this. Anywho, my goal is to play the game before the show comes out so I can like talk with you guys on it intelligently.
Yeah, based off the trailer that they released this week, I think the show's going to be incredibly faithful to the game.
Yeah, it looked good.
To the point where the trailer song was, I think, the first trailer for the game was that song. Yeah,
that was a good cut then.
And then they use like the clicker noises from the game and everything. But I'm really excited for it. Those games, I know they're video games, guys, but seriously, like it's probably one of the best narrative. Both those games, both Last of Us Part 1 and 2, are probably the best narratives in any medium in the past like decade, 20 years. It's really fucking good.
I've thought about starting like a Twitch thing and playing the game live for people the first time. Yeah. And they're all like, oh, I gotta wait till you get to this part. And I'll be like, oh, but I won't be as scared if I feel like there's digital friends, maybe. Digital friends.
If you guys want to be a digital friend of Chris while he plays The Last of Us, let us know.
Yeah, let me know if you'd like to hang out with me while I play video games ever. Because there's a bunch of big ones I've never played that everybody loves, like Red Dead 2.
Oh, Red Dead 2 is another great narrative.
I want to be a cowboy so bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to listen to Kid Rock the whole time I play that game.
Oh, don't do that.
Cowboy, baby.
Don't do that.
And the sun starts shining. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
I'm just going to have that on repeat while I play Red Dead 2. All right.
Ball with a ball, to dang a dang.
To bang biddy or
Bitty
something.
bitty, up chuck the boogie.
Anyway, look at this photograph. Wait, that's Nickelback.
Wrong song.
Oh, well. Every time I do it makes me laugh.
Hey, you know what? Don't insult Nickelback by comparing them to Kid Rock.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's actually fair.
Yeah.
All right. Diving into our coverage. Steve, what did you think of episode 6?
This episode was dope.
It was fire. It was the flame of Udûn.
Whenever Lord of the Rings has a big epic battle, like whenever they're deciding, you know what we need right now is a big epic battle here in Middle Earth. Anytime they do a big epic battle, it is big, it is epic, it is a battle, it is glorious. We all love it. Like some of the best, most hype moments in anything Lord of the Rings has been your Helm's Deeps, your battle of Minas Tirith, your battle at the Black Gate,
Charge of the Rohirrim.
These
the Pelennor Fields, my guy.
Exactly. And this
or
battle,
something. I'm not a nerd.
This battle, granted, wasn't like the stakes weren't as high because it's just like a bunch of orcs attacking a village, right?
And the scale was smaller.
The scale was smaller, but you still got some really, really great action, some really dramatic, human monologues of like what is honor and what is the light and the dark and all that stuff we all love about Lord of the Rings. And it was shot beautifully. The choreography was great. It looked great. And it was a lot of fun. But it was one of these things like this whole season we've been saying Rings of Power is good. We just wish it would just speed up, it would just get to the point. And this is the point I've been wanting them to get to for a couple episodes now. I still think there's been like an episode we could have just completely lost behind us. We could have just not even had that episode and we would have been fine being here. But I understand they want to fill 8 episodes, but I wish we would have gotten here sooner, but now that we're here, I'm so happy that we are.
Yeah, we started at the bottom. Here. Now we're here.
We're at a big epic battle.
Now the whole team here.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of talk online about, the different camps and, a lot of people think the show is slow. Some people are pretty mean about it. And then a lot of its defenders are like, hey, you guys are just dumb. The pacing, you've been ruined by binge watch culture. You can't keep an attention span week to week. I think there's some truth to that, even though, again, that was mean. I don't like mean on either side if you can't tell, but I think that you have to pace the show a certain way for week to week as well. And like back in the day when that was the standard, there was a different style to the show pacings, right? And binge models are styled a different way. Like Stranger Things, our alma mater, they end each episode in a way knowing that you're going to click right on the next one. And so you can have these kind of set up slower episodes that maybe not a whole lot happens because you can just, all right, well, get a sandwich and keep on trucking, baby.
Right. And that's totally fine if they wanted to structure the show that way, but release it in a binge model if that was the way you wanted to.
Other people have said, and this may be true, this is simply a love letter, because this is essentially fan fiction. They don't have the rights to any of this shit. Just a love letter to lovers of the books. And like the books are very, some might say boring, very plotting, very meticulous with moments of climax, truncated between long periods of R&R. LOTR&R. So I don't know. I think that maybe true. Bezos has got enough money where he can just be like, look, man, I just made this so I could watch it.
This is my extra space money.
Yeah. I don't give a shit. I made a spaceship shaped like a dick. Do you think I care about what you guys think?
I make my employees piss in a bottle. I don't care what you piss about online.
Not at all. Not at all.
What did you think of this episode, Chris?
I loved it. This is what I've been waiting for. It's not perfect, but very few things are, It was a great episode. I had a fucking blast. Like you said, things have ramped up to where I'm on the edge of my seat now. And it's not just action. I want to be clear about that. I'm not like I don't want my Lord of the Rings show to be Fast and Furious, right? It's just all about family. I think that certain plot points just moving forward. Like we talked last week a little bit about them ending on the boat from Numenor twice, episodes 4 and 5, stuff like that. Like I love character interactions, and it's in fact what I wanted to see more of than anything. I want to see Arondir talk to Bronwyn. I wanted to see Arondir meet Galadriel. Things like that is what I'm really, really looking forward to. And I got a lot of that in this episode. We didn't get to see the Harfoots at all. No Harfeets.
This is the second episode with no Harfeets.
Yeah, we've had twice no Harfeets.
Which is interesting.
I think they're really doing their best to pace out that stranger reveal for the finale.
Well, they know, I think they know there's not a lot of juice you can get out of a character that just goes constantly. So they have to pace him out as much as
unless
possible.
They reveal it early, they have to, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like they want to end the season with that reveal or closer to the end of the season.
Everybody hyped for season 2, baby.
The Harfoots are just Harfeeting across the countryside. We don't really need to see them until...
They're going to the Grove.
Yeah, the Grove, we don't need to see them until they either get there or the stranger actually, is revealed as of something. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have to show that, why bother looking at them, really?
I want to see them again, though. And I'm really curious to see what the cult of Sauron is up to, which is what those 3 guys were, I think.
Is that what they're officially called?
I read some stuff about it. I don't know, but they seem to be henchmen of Sauron is the online consensus.
Okay.
But yeah, let's dive right into this episode. It opens with a scary glove, a spiked gauntlet and greaves. And then I was like, that's certainly the glove of a villain. There's no doubt. No hero wears a glove like that is what I was thinking to myself. Nay. Yeah. And then it cut to the other hand. No hero has nails like that. If they're going to be that long, that's fine, but they got to be polished, well-kempt. No, those are scary nails.
A beautiful sheen to them, a nice color, perhaps.
At least a gloss. Exactly. Yeah. Somebody who takes some care with their hands. But no, this was a villain. In fact, it was Adar's hands. He's just reaching around the dirt and whatnots.
He is in need of a Manny, maybe even possibly a Petty.
I can assume. If that's what his hands look like, oh my God.
When he's trudging around Middle Earth, your boy needs a
Can you imagine him walking bootless into the camp? All the people from Numenor would be like, girl, come here.
We need to take care of those.
Holy shit, before we do anything else.
Give me them pinkies. Let me take care of them.
And he gives all the orcs a pep talk. He does like a Braveheart speech to the orcs. And we cut to, there's this hilarious moment where we're panning across all these beautiful orcs because they're
great.
Practical effects. They're scary. They're awesome. And then it gets to fucking Waldrig, which was 100% intentional. And he's just looking and feeling every bit out of place as he looks. I love that moment.
I feel like I don't belong here.
He should have just went like, I'm scary as well.
Nampat.
Nampat.
And they look at him like, no, that's our word.
Yeah, you don't say that.
You don't say that, man.
I think Adar, I just want to say this. I think Adar is a fascinating character. One of the most of any of the Lord of the Rings, even the actual original trilogy. I think the idea that he is an elf that went over to, one of the original orcs or whatever. We'll talk about that later. It worked for Sauron, but doesn't anymore. He kind of resents Sauron. He has his own thing. He's kind of a zealot, a fanatical orc who wants to lead his own band of orcs to salvation.
Uruk. Sorry.
Yeah, specifically. He's an Uruk, but they're
Uruk.
orcs. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but he's an Uruk. He doesn't like it when you call him an orc.
Uruk literally means orc, which is ironic.
Uruk.
It's just a different word for orc because Uruk-hai means orc folk. Doesn't matter. I think he's a fascinating character, though. I like the character of Adar quite a lot. What do you think?
100% agree. He's definitely one of my top favorite characters of this show. Like literally whenever he is able to kind of chew the scenery and kind of be his Adar self, it's just captivating. It's a very captivating performance. And it's so interesting. We've said it before, but it's so interesting to have a character in the world of Lord of the Rings that actually genuinely cares for the orcs and is like,
yeah, that's what's so refreshing. They're not just like red shirts.
Yeah.
In his eyes.
Yeah.
He wants to like they're people.
They deserve a homeland. That's all he wants. He wants a homeland for the orcs.
He gets threatened later with possible torture of the orcs. And he's like, I spilled the beans. Those are my babies.
You come at me however way you want, but don't you dare hurt my babies. I am a mama lion. I'm a lioness protecting her cubs.
We're going to throw him in the sunlight. And he's like, no, only I do that.
Only I do that when I'm being philosophical, okay?
That's it.
I can abuse my kids. You can't.
That's it, which I get. We cut to them attacking the tower, right? And Adar recognizes the thing, which we later find out is a keyhole. It's like the statue, swordy looking thing. Yeah, he's like, ooh, that's what I came for right there, baby. And they're all looking pretty suspicious. Like,
no one's in the tower. It's seemingly evacuated.
They all fled, my lord. Sissies.
I can smell it. The elf's still here.
I smell at least one elf. Keep looking.
Oh, okay.
All right. Keep looking, he said.
Maybe he's up on the roof.
He said he smells him. I can too. He pretended he could too because he wanted to be cool.
Yeah, me too. I can only smell myself.
Very stinky.
I haven't bathed in a while.
And then Arondir takes down everything by himself. He's got it all planned out. He shoots the rope with the flaming arrow, knocks down the tower, which is very, very misplaced tower. Like it's barely held up, right? By one rope, just all that's keeping it from pure destruction. And then he's like shoots the other thing and it pulls the log and it shuts the door. I mean, he's got it
trapping them all in there.
It turns into fucking Home Alone. Elven Home Alone.
I would love to see Arondir version of Home Alone where it's like Joe Pesci and the wet bandits are trying to get into the
tower.
You filthy animals.
That was an awesome scene. I've said it many times. I love elves doing elf shit because they're such superior beings and he's so graceful. It's so talented.
Yeah, I love he does like some sweet like vaulting jumps around and
he does. And sometimes it's not necessary, but you got to do it with a flourish. It's like Legolas on the shield in Helm's Deep. So you got to surf that shield, baby. No reason for that, but it's cool.
But I mean, it's incredible because seemingly like at first I was, and this is kind of a weird edit thing in this episode, but like seemingly like at first you get shots of like, the long trail of torches, seemingly not all the orcs are in the castle, but then when he starts demolishing the castle, you don't see any torches on the road anymore. So you think, oh, are they all in there? But then it cuts to a wide and there's like a couple of them down like a further trail that the tower kind of falls down.
Yeah.
And it was a little confused. Like, how many did they get? Did they get everybody? Didn't get everybody?
Those are really the only nits that I have to pick with this episode is some editing choices. Every time that I can think about like, oh, it was an editing choice ultimately at the heart of it. But I'll get more into that in a little bit. We cut to the fucking boat that we wish they would get off of, right?
Oh, well, we miss Bronwyn and the rest of the refugees are not there at the tower. And she's like, we have to go back to the village.
Oh, was there a scene with them already?
Yeah, because when the tower falls, all the refugees are kind of they're at the base of the mountain and they're like, yay!
Oh, we did it!
And she's like, all right, we got to go back to the village. It's the last place they look for us.
Yeah, where we live. They'll never find us.
We had this great garrison we could have defended, but let's go to the tavern.
Yeah.
It's a place where everybody knows your name.
It's the cheers.
It's the cheers of the
They're
town.
just in there wasted when the orcs show up.
Oh shit, guys, we left Norm in the bar. We forgot to get Norm.
We're going to challenge the orcs to a drinking contest. Every time you say Nampat, we do a shot.
Nampat. Fireball cinnamon whiskey.
Flame of Udûn. All right. And we cut to the boat and Isildur's on there shoveling shit. He's feeding his horse an apple and then taking a bite of the apple. He's like one of those guys that gives their dog a spoon of peanut butter and then eats the rest of it off the same spoon.
Oh my gosh, you guys know I'm not a huge fan of the Isildur plot. In this like minute and a half, I went through so many emotions because he's got his apple and then he gives the apple to the horse. I'm like, oh, he's being nice.
He's feeding his little horse
he's
boy.
Taking care of the horse. He's a good stable boy. And then he bites the apple. I'm like, gross. But all right, maybe he's just really chill with his horse. And then he goes up on the deck of the ship and then just chucks the apple.
Yeah, like the horse would have 100% wanted to eat the rest of that apple.
Like, you're on a boat, man. You gotta.
Yeah, food is finite.
Food is very important. You just don't throw that. You just don't. Done.
It definitely wasn't a Honeycrisp, but he would have had to finish that.
No, not at all.
Best apple by far. But after he throws the apple, he runs into Galadriel. And she's standing at I don't know if it's the prow or the stern or starboard or fore or aft. We've talked about this, but she's over there. She's looking at the sunrise that's happening. And she's like, oh, I thought all the soldiers were asleep. And he's like, oh, sorry, Commander. I like this scene because we've never seen Isildur interact with Galadriel. And I want to say this, potentially hot take. I kind of liked, actually, no, I verifiably liked Isildur in this episode for the first time.
Yeah, this was his best episode by far.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean,
I know I just went on that huge tirade about the apple thing, but like once we got past the apple thing, it was all aces from here on out.
Yeah. I like this chat with him and Galadriel because he says, she says, what is your rank? And he's like, stable boy.
And then she went, oh, you just a little stable boy.
I shovel shit on the boat, which I respected him for because he could have said, I'm like the highest ranking dude's son. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't. He wants to forge his own path as much as his friends give him shit for being a Nepo baby. He rails against that. And she's like, he's like, oh, I fought to be on this boat. And she's like, oh, for what? And he's like, just get away. And I was like, he's sliding back and do Isildur shit. I feel like he's going to make a really good decision at some point later on in his life.
But Galadriel says that the true heart of Numenor still lies inside of him, basically.
Yeah, he says, hey, I don't like Numenor very much. It's not the same Numenor that I was told it was. And she's like, oh, it is. It's in the heart of even the lowliest piece of shit, apple throwing, dumbass stable boy. And he's like, that's kind of offensive, but I see what you're getting at.
Who, me?
No, I'm just saying.
He like looks around like,
if there was a person like that, that would be the heart of Numenor.
Why are you coming at me so hard, Galadriel? And
then his dad, Elendil, shows up and they have like a knowing, like, you got out of bed early and you're supposed to be sweeping the stables. And he's like, oh, indeed. Walks away. And Elendil and Galadriel chat for a moment. And she asks him what happened to Isildur's mother. And he avoids that question for a long while, talking about sunrises and sunsets, I'm used to sail on my ship in the same direction quite often.
We're sailing into the dawn, but to me, it feels like the coming of night. She drowned.
Yeah. And then I thought he was going to avoid the question entirely. And then he ends the convo with, by the way, she drowned. I did hear you. I want to say that first. I've been prepping this speech downstairs all morning. I wasn't going to not say it. But if I said she drowned, it would have been awkward to say it afterward.
Yeah. When you have a tough pill for someone to swallow, you want to sweeten it with candy, right?
Every time, even if it's confusion.
I'm going to use this tactic whenever I do something troubling, where I'm just going to be like, someone's like, Steve, how many toes do you have? And I'll just like think for a moment and say, sometimes when I look at the moon, the light of the earth illuminates my soul. And on this day, it illuminates my heart. I have 9.
Whenever I'm late for work and they accost me, like, Chris, where have you been? I'm gonna try this. The grass grows strongest where the light often doesn't touch. I had to get coffee. I had to poop. And then we get a sweet transition of the Queen Regent Muriel looking at a map, and she's got like the little magnifying glass of some words in a language we don't know. I think it's Elvish. Can't be sure. And then it's like it cuts to a scene inside the magnifying glass of Arondir hammering away
at the blood sword.
The blood sword, trying to not intellectually trying to destroy it. He's just hitting it with something, and he's like, this is the end of my art. And they're like, he's like hitting it with a rock.
Yeah.
Thought that would work.
It was a really, really cool transition. And I just love it when characters in these type of movies, they have this otherworldly magical artifact and they're like, how do we destroy it? Maybe a hammer.
Yes.
I'll beat it with a hammer first.
Hold on, one more thing. I've learned this from my great-great-grandfather, descended himself from the Valar. Let's hit it with a stick.
You cannot destroy a blood sword with a stick.
Everybody knows.
Does anyone know a vampire? Maybe they can help us with this blood sword.
What is this blood sword? This black magic from Morgoth. But Arondir is hammering away. It doesn't work.
And the whole time,
good effort.
You see Theo like skulking in the background.
Yeah, looking like Gollum, like the sword is his precious, which is 100% intentional.
Why you hit my precious?
I don't like taters.
I hate taters. I'm so full of hormones.
I want it raw and wriggling. Wait a second.
No one understands me. I'm going to my room.
Going to my room. He listens to Nirvana for sure.
But we have like a montage of the
They're
villagers
prepping to
getting
fight.
ready. Yeah.
They're like forging whole ass new swords, which is impressive. I don't think they have time for that.
all in a day.
Yeah. Ting ting. Got him.
Got him.
Sharpen them up too.
Ting, ting, ting. Got this one.
Still a little hot. Touch it though. It's quite cool.
You people create the oil that we can burn and like get all the oiling stuff set up. You people plug up the orc holes so they don't get in here. Like
Everybody's got a job.
cut down some trees, make some 2x4s so you can do that. I'm going to forge several swords.
3. That's all I have time for.
Yeah.
Not going to lie. Carl, you don't get one.
This whole time, half of the
Sharpen
crew
a
is just
stick.
hanging out in the tavern the whole time because they're too old
Yeah.
and young.
I'm going to be really drunk. Not going to lie. That's what he said.
Best job in the whole camp.
He said, take a shot every time he said non-pot. They said it 37 times that I could hear. I'm wasted.
That's my job.
I've only processed 4 of these shots.
Good, Bronwyn. Good,
I'm going to need a key bump of Alfred seeds to come up off this bar, actually.
Bronwyn. Good news. The ale in the tavern it's still good. It's still good.
Top notch.
It's still good stuff. We don't have to worry about it being bad.
Bullshit. How'd Nancy get in here? Bullshit.
Bullshit.
And she tells Theo, you got to stay in the bar, in the keep. She's calling it a keep, but it's just a bar. And he's like, I can fight. And she's like, I know you can. That's why I want you in here to protect all the weak people, which is like, he can't, right? You're one of the weak ones.
I don't want to protect him. I can fight.
I know you can.
But before, can you tell me the lullaby you would tell me before?
Yeah, and there's this interesting moment where he says, hey, mommy, you used to tell me something every time I was sad and scared as a kid. Can you say it again now? And she gives him this like long, eloquent Shakespearean speech.
In the end, the shadow is such a small passing thing. Find the light and the shadow will not find you.
And I'll have to be honest with you guys here. You might have thought that was corny. You might have thought it was, is gauche an appropriate word? I don't know.
I don't know if gauche would be.
It worked on me. I got the chills twice in this episode that I can think of. And once was when, I think it's in a moment when Arendir gives his speech. He gets his little Braveheart moment as well. It worked on me. Just got to be honest about it. I liked Bronwyn's little lullaby thing. I wish she would whisper that to me when I get scared right before I go to bed, which is nightly. Terrified.
Yeah, she just shows up like, hey, I'm here.
The shadow will pass. And I'll be, thanks, Bronwyn.
She clocks in the time card.
Will you tuck me in?
No. I'm only here to say these words and
That's
then
fair.
I'm out.
That's fair. I don't know you.
You only have me for 15 minutes.
But you're very pretty. And then they do some bumps of Alfred seeds together. It's in fact a tradition, an Elvish tradition, to rail Alfred seeds before every battle.
A new life in defiance of death. That is the tradition.
All right.
Ready for war.
I shoot better when I'm high.
Oh, yeah.
But no, he's actually going to plant them, like replace the death with the life. I get it. You're about to kill a bunch of orcs. You need to plant some tomatoes just to make up for it. Same thing.
Yeah. Insert gross planting seed joke here.
Universe is balanced. Oh yeah. I wasn't going to go that route. And then we get a profession of love from Arendir to Bronwyn. He's like, hey, I'll raise your kid. I don't like him. He's a dork. I'm not going to love him, but I'll act like I do for his benefit. She's like, would you promise me? Really?
I'm not the stepdad. I'm the dad that stepped up.
That's right. That's what he said. Essentially, that's what I heard. And we cut to them just waiting for the orcs. There's this beautiful moment of tension. Bear McCreary's score is ramping up. The captions are on fire. Wind whooshing, leaves rustling,
Dags
breath
rattling.
trembling. And just said Dags rattling in the captions. Don't go check. Just trust us.
I do love that scene where they're just they're waiting for, they're looking into the night sky.
Anticipation.
Right?
Yeah.
Anticipation. is
Beautiful
palpable.
shot, by the way.
And really, when you see that first light from the first
It's like a
torch
little flicker of a match in the
that
distance.
comes up over the distance, that in and of itself was probably in a weird way, like to me, that was the spookiest part of the whole episode. When you see that first light, you're like, oh my God, that's them.
And you see that there's still a shitload of orcs.
Yeah, because
even
that
though
one
the tower
torch
took out a lot of them.
becomes many more.
Many. I would say dozens.
Yeah. There are dozens of us.
Yeah. And that's what there are dozens of us. And we were like, fuck.
That's what Nampat means. dozens. A baker's Nampat.
That's right. And then, so it was kind of comical to me. I don't know why I made it funny. But Bronwyn's crouched there behind a cart and her job is to light it. And she's trying to strike what's that stone called that starts fires? It's showing my idiot.
Striking stone? I don't know.
No, it's like a type of stone.
Do I look like I've ever camped?
No, but you should know these nerd things. I know I should because of all the fantasy novels I've read.
Whetstone.
No, that's how you sharpen swords.
Striking stone.
I mean, yes, but it's a type of rock,
The
man.
fire starter.
Fuck. Right in streamingthingspod@gmail.com and call me an idiot. But she's striking that motherfucker trying to get some sparks and start that fire. And she's standing there with a lady whose job seems to be to stand there. She has no weapon. And then the orcs jump over, kill Teresa, who literally... Why doesn't she have a stick or a rock or why isn't she in the tavern?
It's a flint.
Flint. Ha! Don't write in.
Don't write in.
We'll do, but talk about something else. But yeah, why is Teresa standing there?
Moral support.
She's like, you strike it. You're doing so good.
Bronwyn's like, my lady, will you be my hype person?
Why didn't she give her a fork? Something. She just stood there.
She's not a trained professional. She's a
I feel
girl.
like my point is I think she should have been in the keep with Theo. Maybe she didn't like Theo and she was like, oh, you're in here.
Or the orc just snuck up on them. They didn't see the orc coming and she got taken by surprise.
Oh, they're here already.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, I was supposed to be in the bar.
Well, maybe it's an orc. Maybe they didn't expect a single orc to be like, oh, there's a wagon up on that hill.
Yeah.
Let me go see if there's something weird.
Oh, I smell a flintstone. I like that show.
Oh, I love huffing flint.
That's what they did. That's an orc drug.
Yeah, they love it.
They didn't know that. And then they spring the trap and they shoot the flaming cart toward them and it hits other flaming things and blocks them from the way they came.
The bleeding fools missed us.
I sound like Jason Statham. Sort of.
It's a megalodon.
Not a megalodon. It's is it a megalodon? Is that
from the movie
The Meg?
The Meg, yeah.
The Meg. Yeah, my son loved that movie. He was really into sharks briefly. So I had to watch The Meg a couple times.
For a week, you'd say? Was he into sharks for a week?
Shark Week. You can watch that on Discovery Plus. That's not a real plug. And then we cut to Aaron Deer just shooting arrows from the roof. He's got other trained bowmen I didn't know that this village had, but eventually he gets pulled off the roof.
It was just one other trained bowman, right?
I thought I saw a good 3.
Oh, okay. I thought there was just one other dude like, I'm Craig.
I'm also an elf.
Hello.
He gave me some of these Alfrin seeds. They really do give the ability to shoot a bow. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yep. Did you know Hawkeye huffs Alfred seeds before every Avengers movie?
I did, actually. I know everything about Marvel. I thought this battle was great, but it bothers me what's about to transpire. And we're skipping through some things because there was a lot of quick cuts and edits, a lot of stabbing and killing going on.
There's a lot of action.
The bloodiest Lord of the Rings thing, maybe ever, I think, this episode.
For sure.
But like literal blood, the most literal blood we've ever seen. Aaron Deer gets knocked off the roof, right? Which is fine.
It was a really cool stunt.
Super
Falling
cool.
off the roof was really, really cool.
And then he stabs the guy he does the Legolas, stabs him with his arrow, right? That was nice. But then he ends up running into like the Arnold Schwarzenegger of orcs. Like his head is...
You've been pushing too many pencils, Aaron Deer.
Hope you don't have a rescue grenade to save you. And then he's Uruk-hai. That's how tall he is. God damn it, I'm sorry. But neither this orc nor Arondir have swords. It bothers me. No weapons. Why doesn't Arondir have a sword? Did he plan on using his bow the whole time?
He might have lost it when he fell off the roof.
I like the fist fight, the bar brawl. That maybe they were like, look, we're near a bar. This is how we got to do it. Right. This is just a brawl.
We need to not look at the rest of the action that's happening on the other side of the tavern.
I'm just calling that guy Big Boy. That's what I think his name is.
Big Boy. He is a big boy.
He is. So they get into a fist fight. It's brutal. It's like a jail fight. One has Arondir even has a shank. And they fight. He throws him into the well a bunch of times, starts choking him. He's already got a knife in his eyeball. He starts bleeding into Arondir's mouth, which is super gross. Because not only is it blood, it's orc blood, which I feel like is worse. That might be judgy.
It's orc eye blood too. So it's
is eye blood even worse, you think?
Probably. I mean,
there's tiers to this. There's regular blood, there's orc blood, and there's orc eye blood.
There's like some eye boogers in there possibly too, you know.
Yeah. It's real leaky.
Yeah, it's and this guy is not Big Boy is not bothered by this at all.
I don't even like that eye.
don't even use it.
Funny story, let me tell you, Bennett. I've been blind in this eye since I was 9 years old. I was walking down the stream with me brother.
I wanted a BB gun for Christmas and we took it outside and my uncle was like, you'll shoot your eye out. And I did not pay attention.
One Christmas, my dad got a lamp, see, shaped like an orc leg. My mom didn't like it much.
Oh, it was very hot.
That's a Christmas Story reference. Kids.
Did you think we would do Christmas story jokes in our Lord of the Rings coverage?
Didn't see that one coming.
Only here on Streaming Things.
But at the last moment, Bronwyn saves Arondir from getting stabbed in his eye. So,
dude. So something about
Big Boy
me,
was thinking eye for an eye.
something about me is I hate eye shit. Like, don't touch my eyes. Don't go near my eyes.
Oh, were you cringing the whole time?
In movies when like there's like a needle going towards someone's eye or like anything about that. That's the thing that like I could watch the goriest fucking movie ever. Won't be bothered. You do that shit where it's like, oh, there's going to be a needle in your eye.
How do you feel about thumbs and eyes?
Not a fan. Not a fan.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, not a fan. There is something more.
How do you feel about Kill Bill when she grabs the guy's eye?
Well, that was so quick and like,
or not the guy. It was a woman, but still.
yeah, but that was so quick and like that didn't bother me. It's the lingering shot of the needle getting closer and closer and closer to the
Kill
eye.
Bill, it's sad because that's her only other eye.
That poor assassin.
Yeah. Oh, now she's blind.
Was that Daryl Hannah's character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, dang.
Poor girl blind now.
She had two. Now she got none. Anyway.
That's why you don't wear an eye patch. It just makes a target of your other eye.
Yeah. You can never keep them guessing which one actually works. That's what I do.
Put a glass eye in.
See, you don't know which one works. They both do. And then
Tell them.
so they win the battle ostensibly, right? There's even the guy, he's got the funny hat on and he goes
Looks
up
like
to
Friar Tuck.
Yeah, he goes up to Arondir with his he's leaning on the staff. He should have been in the bar as well. I guess they had to be, they couldn't be choosy.
That dude was kicking ass.
He was stabbing.
He was the tip of the spear.
A lot of these villagers came out. They came out charging with the spear, like for Frodo. And I was like, well, he's not alive yet. That's weird. And so the guy's like patting Arondir on the back. He's like, more than a bit brave, more than a bit. And the Arondir's like, thanks. I've been alive for like 6,000 years.
Guy?
What who are you? Don't touch me. Where's Bronwyn and my new son? That's what I want to know right now.
Where's my new son?
These Alfronsees are wearing off. I need a nap. And then the villagers start lamenting. That's what the caption said, because they start
Villagers lamenting.
Arondir notices that the blood is human blood. He's like, I had some orc blood recently in my mouth. That doesn't look like what that is.
I'm well acquainted with the taste of orc blood.
And he licks it. He's like, nope, this is human blood.
Yep.
This is delish.
Oh, this is red too. Red. Not,
See everybody?
not orc blood.
So they start peeling back helms and whatnot. And these are all the villagers that decided to work for Adar. So we've been fighting our own. Mm-hmm. Not really. They were on the orc side, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of that's a bleak thing. Like if you were in a little village like that and you were tight with, I assume, some of these neighbors, especially in that
it'd be like,
world.
oh no,
Not
Andy.
Not only do you see, Andy's not here because he went to join Adar's group. But like if your friend, like they leave and you have that worry, like, oh shit, they left us. They're probably dead because the enemy killed them. Oh no, wait, they're killing us. That's kind of a fucked up thing to go through.
Which of our patrons do you think would join Adar?
Well, should we name which patrons we think would join Adar?
That's what I'm challenging you to
all
do.
of the $1 patrons. I'm kidding. None of our patrons would, because all of our patrons see through the light.
I think some of them would switch sides.
Well,
Just a couple Waldrigs in there.
oh, who's a Waldrig amongst us?
I won't say.
Oh, so you want me to say it? You want me
kidding.
to change my residence to under that bus?
No. I kid. I know Enza would be a staunch supporter right by my side.
Dude, Enzo would be the fucking Arondir of that group.
Yes.
Hopping off
Or
rooftops and
I would think I'm probably Arondir, but she'd be the
no, you'd be Theo.
she'd be the bowman next to me. I'd be the guy that comes up at the end. More than a bit.
I'd be Teresa.
Yeah. Immediately. Not even hold the weapon. Why are you out here? Actually, I don't know.
I wanted to see how a flint worked. I've never seen one in
She was
action.
teaching me how to start fires. In retrospect, not a great time.
No.
Not a great time. But turns out it was an orc trick, which I didn't know they were capable. Well, they were capable of that under.
We have many tricks up our sleeves.
Oh, the French orc.
That is me. There is no more tricky orc than the French one.
By the way, apparently all French are orcs.
I voted for Macron.
I learned that today talking about a French film on TikTok. So many anti-French comments. I was like, what the fuck's going on right now? But anyhoozle, yeah, the orcs tricked them. They only sent the duds of the group to go fight in the initial battle, and the rest of the army comes running out. And this is where like some of the editing things happen for me. Like it already has happened. Like I didn't think they did a good job of. Like it looked like a lot more orcs were initially attacking. And then once they were all dead, it was like, oh, there's not that many there. Plus we never saw Adar. Mm-hmm. And then there's another editing kind of flub because all the orcs they shoot arrows from the woods. A lot of the villagers die. They go into, and including Bronwyn gets shot. They rush into what she calls the keep. But again, it's just a bar.
Tavern. Mm-hmm. It's Waldrig's
watering hole.
Watering hole. Yeah.
WWH. Yep. Waldrig's watering hole. That's what he called it.
We're going to rename this now that Waldrig.
Yeah, that's awkward.
Did a Benedict Arnold on us.
Mm-hmm. And so they start charging out, and it looks like they're going to be beating down the door any second. And they cut to inside the tavern, and we get a long extended sequence of all the wounded, the dying, and they have to heal Bronwyn with Alpharin seeds to pull the arrow out, have some pep talks and tears, all kinds of stuff. And there's still not a. There's one guy like peeks out and sees an orc right outside the door. Oh, shouldn't have peeked. Now they know we're in here.
Where'd they go?
And there's another like 4 or 5 minutes of them inside the tavern, which again, I just think is an editing thing.
Yeah, because it is a very long extended sequence of them really sort of doing the, they're helping Bronwyn with her arrow strike. At first she's like, take care of the other guy, but the Friar Tuck guy, but he's dead.
No need.
He's done so. So
I'm more than a bit dead.
She's like, all right,
more than a bit.
Theo, you've got to stem the bleeding and take out the wound, and she's gushing like is the
bloodiest tiny arrow wound I've ever seen in my many years of watching nerd stuff.
It was fucking like water falling out. Like she didn't get hit by an arrow. She got shot by like a 50 caliber bullet or something.
Dr. Brenner, what kind of wound would you say that was in your expertise?
Hello, it is me, Dr. Brenner. I've come all the way. It's taken me a while to appear on a Rings of Power episode. I was on this boat for fucking 8 episodes.
That happens here.
But from my professional opinion,
yes,
it appears that Bronwyn is suffering from what we in the medical community call a terrible wound.
I mean, this is one of the most terrible wounds I've ever seen. What do you think?
About a B.
Oh, really? It gets worse.
My wound was worse.
You think so?
Yeah, my chest was a hole.
That's right. You were laying. I think you're still laying in the desert typically. Is that where you came from?
Yeah, I'm zoomed in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm zoomed in. Someone was nice enough to lay a laptop in front of me in the desert, and I get great Wi-Fi.
So terrible wound is your expert opinion.
Terrible wound.
Well, I appreciate you weighing in on that. Thank you so much. If we have any more medical questions, we'll certainly call Dr. Brenner.
Please do. I'm lonely.
Okay, that's good. Bye-bye. So she's laying there just gushing blood. I mean, whoo boy.
We were joking because at one point the scene goes on for like 4 or 5 minutes. And at one point, I forget which one of us was like, it was shortly after the woman peeked and was like, oh, they're out there.
Yeah.
We were like, what are the orcs doing? And it's like,
oh, I hope they're having a cathartic moment in there.
They're peeking through like, oh, that's a lot of blood.
Oh, gross. I hope she dies.
Put a burny stick on it. Oh, they're doing that. Okay.
Oh, good.
That's what we would do.
I don't want to go in there and get the blood on my clothes.
Yeah, we clean it up, French orc maid.
I think we started joking like they're probably out there just yelling Nampat, and then right as we said that, you see in the captions like Nampat, and it's like, oh, yep, there they go.
That's their battle cry, man. They come pounding in. They break into the bar immediately.
Yeah, it takes them no time. They could have been in that bar in 30 seconds, but
it's just like it's a tavern lock, and they brought a battering ram. It's in their defense. There was no defense, right?
Right.
They bust in, no fight whatsoever. Everybody gets a knife to their throat immediately. And I like how somebody had the wherewithal to put a knife to Bronwyn's throat, even though she was clearly incapacitated, like looking still warm.
Put a knife to the prettiest one here.
Yeah, definitely gonna. Are they Australian now, these orcs?
G'day.
No.
G'day, mate.
No. Nose cone.
Nose cone.
Nose cone. There we go. It took me a minute. I apologize to our Australian listeners. It's just fun. You can understand. It would be fun to attempt. Like, you can get that, right? They're cool.
I was going to continue that joke and saying, like, put a knife to the prettiest one here. Grab Theo.
Not with that Farquaad haircut.
He is a Lord Farquaad.
He does. Fucking Lord.
Quit making fun of my hair.
You cut it that way.
I'm going through something. You don't understand. This is the style now.
And then there's a long sequence. Well, first we cut back to Galadriel and the Númenóreans galloping, which Galadriel loves to gallop. Galadriel is a galloper.
Fucking
as long as it's in slow-mo.
This.
She's like, oh my God. Show them the meaning of haste, Galadriel.
She
did.
She's leading the pack. She is alive in this moment.
But here's what another editing thing, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to be a picker of nits.
Pick them nits, boy.
It's bright daytime where Galadriel is. It's pitch black dark where Theo and the gang is. Mm-hmm. That would suggest they're very far apart. Would it not? I don't know.
There is something definitely happening with the time because, you know, they get into the tavern when it's, like you said, pitch dark, but it's a weird editing choice. Like you either film them, the Númenóreans riding in near similar lighting circumstances, or you just don't show them appearing until they're there at the end. You hear like,
or you could have done that scene
on the ground
way earlier when it was still bright out on both sides or something. You know what I mean? I get it.
Because I mean, we talked about this last episode where we were anticipating there was going to be some weird timing-wiming, jetpacky type shit happening because it was assumed you could see this happening a mile away. Like last episode, we were like, yeah, the Númenóreans are going to show up and save the day when the orcs attack this village. That's clearly what's going to happen. That's what they're leading to. So we were expecting there were going to be some weird editing in this, that these stories aren't necessarily happening on the same timeline. Like they're just slightly off time, if that makes sense, but they're edited together to make the show work. But I think this was an example of them not planning that out as well as they could have.
Yes. And it's a small thing.
Yeah. It doesn't like really ruin the moment, but it is kind of it takes you out of it a little bit.
It was an interesting choice. I certainly thought so. Mm-hmm. But after the slow-mo Galadriel gallop, we cut back to inside the bar. They're stabbing everybody. And I actually thought that this was pretty shockingly brutal for the franchise that we're in. And I liked it in the sense that like, it kind of subverted my expectation of how this was going to go. Cause I was a little shocked at first that they all just captured them instead of a slaughter ensuing. Mm-hmm. And then I remembered that Adar is looking for the blood sword is his whole mission here. And so they, capture everybody, and that's their way of like the orcs instinctively know what Adar wants. He doesn't say anything. I love that about this moment because as soon as he asks Arondir the question and gets a refusal, somebody off in the like back left just stabs a guy like, and so it's almost like they talked out beforehand, like, all right, he's not going to.
Maybe that's why they didn't storm the tavern. It took them 5 minutes to storm the tavern.
They're outside.
Let's go breach the tavern. And everyone's like, wait, guys, hold on. We gotta talk this through.
We game plan this.
I'm gonna walk in there looking like a G, and then when he says, "No, I'm not gonna give you the sword," I'm gonna look at one of you, and you guys just start stabbing people one at a time.
Vrath. No, Vrath's dead. Magrot. Oh, you're dead too.
Magrot's dead.
Yeah.
The fat one. Oh, the fat one got crushed.
Booger Sneeze. I'm going to need you to stab. I'm going to need you to stab whoever you got.
Also, I'm going to need you to get some Kleenex.
Mm-hmm. Fromunda cheese. Next.
Fromunda cheese.
That's definitely an orc name. He goes by Fromunda.
Of course. Yeah.
His friends call him Fromunda.
Yeah, but his best friends call him Cheese. That's my sweet cheese.
That's my good time boy.
Good time, my rotten soldier.
That's rotten soldier.
Yeah.
Orcs.
Yeah.
But yeah, they start stabbing everybody. And
I'm sorry, Fromunda cheese is so good.
And they're gonna kill Bronwyn because she's the prettiest. And he's like, oh, I bet everybody cares about her.
I was the prettiest.
No, Theo, you got that Farquaad haircut. And I like this moment too. I thought it was really interesting. Did you get the impression, as I did, that Arondir was going to let Bronwyn die? Like he
100%.
He understood the import of the sword not falling into the hands of Adar, and he was like, "Damn, I'm gonna miss you."
Mm-hmm. And Bronwyn was looking at him like,
"I'm not gonna raise your kid anymore. I want that to be clear.
When you go, so do I."
Yeah, I'm saying.
No, I'm sorry, but she was looking at him kind of like, "Don't give it up."
Yeah.
I think she was willing to sacrifice herself as well.
But Theo is he's bitch made.
Yes,
that's how I put it while we were watching the show.
Perfectly put. Yes,
he just immediately shows his true colors.
But you have to empathize.
There's also some money in the cash register, and once when I was 7,
I slept with Rhaenyra Targaryen. That's a hot D joke.
He starts telling him everything.
But I mean, you have to empathize with him a little bit in this moment because I was
that's his
trying
mother.
Yeah, this is mom. Like if I was in the situation, I don't know if I think I would probably do the same thing. Like, don't kill my mom.
100%.
Here, take this dumb sword. It only works if it stabs you.
Yeah, I hate this. It's real hurty.
It hurts.
Stabby.
Yeah, have fun.
By the way, good luck.
Yeah.
I 100%. But at the same time, the framing of the scene, everyone's like, oh, man, you're telling him?
What an asshole.
You're getting the crowbar? But yeah, he does immediately tells him where it's at. And the whole tough part about this, movies do this all the time, like the captured negotiation thing, right? 9 times out of 10, they kill you anyway. Like Theo's clearly never seen any of these movies, right? Mm-hmm. So that could have been the sad happenstance of that. He gives him the sword, kills Bronwyn anyway, and then everyone else, but leaves him alive.
Right.
Because you're bitch made. I want you to suffer. That's what Adar would say. But anyway, he goes and gets it, gives it to Adar. And then all of a sudden, everybody, the Númenóreans are rushing through. And it was like a Jurassic Park thing where you saw like the liquid shaking from the horses galloping near. A T-Rex jumped out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. It was scary.
It was super scary.
Life found a way.
Yeah, it did. The guy was just in the privy like, and he gets eaten by the T-Rex. That was a Jurassic Park joke. By the way, the orcs fought until daylight. Not smart. I noticed that as well.
They already put their sundresses on.
Yeah, they had like their shawls and stuff when they ran outside, but I felt like that wouldn't have been sufficient. But it was a small nit to pick. I wanted it to be bright when the Númenóreans charged.
I was just happy that they kept with the continuity of them putting their sundresses back on. Like it could have very easily been like, I guess I'll tan today.
Yeah, I'm not sensitive to light anymore. I also liked that it kind of fell in line with Bronwyn's speech to Theo, her little lullaby. It was like the shadow, will pass and then the light will come, whatever it was, the quote was. And the Númenóreans literally brought the light, which is why I think they made that editing choice that made the time seem weird, is it was the Númenóreans had the light.
Oh, okay.
And once they arrived, it was light outside, which just occurred to me and it changed my opinion of everything.
Now this episode went from a 9 to a 10.
Everything's happening live on this episode.
We're live, pal.
So yeah, the orcs fought until daylight. Númenor comes in, and this is when Galati shows up. Ooh, baby. She dodges an arrow by it's pretty common in Westerns too. They would hold the side of the horse and gallop. But she does it in the most acrobatic, awesome way, leans back, just holding on with her left ankle, and effortlessly too. Nope, thought you had me, but you didn't.
Yep.
But good battle ensues. Elendil has these, the Flash or old Thor, maybe ears.
Oh, the little wingtipped ears. Yeah. Now, by the way, speaking of Galati, did you realize?
Let's talk about Galati as long as you want.
Well, no, listeners may recall that we put out a request for what we should call you, the listener. What's a title we can give our Streaming Things fan base, right?
Yes.
And one of the options someone wrote in were Galatis. The Galatis, and I thought you would appreciate that. I don't know if you saw that one.
I did, and I love it. But I reserve that name for one only, and that is Galati.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't want to just spread that willy-nilly.
That's fair. Because her stunts were super, super cool. There are also some really neat fighting stunts that the other Númenóreans brought in. I really liked the scene where the two Númenóreans they're on 2 horses and they hooked each other up with a giant chain, and they just ran down the main strip of the town.
Steve was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, they fucked them orcs up. What was that horror film? Was it Ghost Ship that opens up with a tripwire being launched across a whole dance floor and it cuts everyone in half? That's the opening of the movie.
Dude, you're bringing a memory back of a movie I didn't think I've seen, but I'm feeling that right now. I think maybe I did watch it, but I'm no help.
I have no memory of this place.
I have no memory of this place.
I think it's Ghost Ship, but it could be
too much old Toby, man.
Yeah, it's Ghost Ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say it again too. And I can always trust you to run a bit into the ground.
You're welcome.
When I'm slightly hesitant, but I think we should. You're I got you, man.
Here's let me take your stick. I will beat this dead horse.
Wait, it's alive. Oh no, give it an apple. A sealed door. And then we see Elendil go down, right? We see Antimo in some trouble. Valentil's doing really well. Antimo's not doing well. He's laying on his back fighting.
Yeah.
He should have been in the bar.
That's what happens when you let redheads out. in the sunlight. You know what I mean?
We have nothing against those folk.
I'm one of them, so I can say that. I can make those jokes.
I've got a little red in my beard.
I've got a little red in my beard.
But Antimo's doing badly. Valentil's doing great. Those are the two friends of Isildur. Finally, it's a weird scene where they cut to the Queen Regent Muriel and I guess her protectors, Isildur and a stable sweep. He's one of them. And she looks at him and she's like, you can go.
It was really weird that he's with them.
Yeah.
And she's the one that's like, hey, dude, I don't know if we've had a scene together.
It's like her youngest kid that wants to go play. And she's like, you were good. You've been grounded, but you've been good all day.
You're good.
Go.
You sat on your hands up here this whole time. You haven't said why.
You've thrown 0 expensive apples, which I was mad about, but you can go play now. Go fight in the war.
You did confess it to me, and I'm very proud of you.
He charges eagerly in, slices down a couple orcs. His horse, Barrack, gets sliced immediately. Made me sad.
Barrack.
Didn't like that at all. First, he only got one bite of the apple. Now he's wounded. Mm-hmm. It's not a terrible wound, but it's enough to make me upset. Elendil goes down.
It's just a scratch.
I didn't even realize he was the guy with the ears on his helm, but I was like, oh, that must be an important character. They're really focusing on him going down. And that's why they gave him the ears, in fact, so that he would be recognizable. Now I get it. He's about to die, but we all know he's not.
Isildur's trying to get to him. He's like, Father,
no. And Halbrand saves him, stabs with a spear.
I think it was a spear.
Yeah, through a spear. Mm-hmm. He's a spear thrower. He's very good at it. And saves Elendil. Galadriel chases Adar. Who is it? Arendir that tells her.
Yeah, I love the scene
stop
where
him.
She's like, hey, fellow elf.
Yes.
We clearly have
Nux.
much in common. Nux. Let's do the secret elf handshake. And they do like his
in
finger guns.
Quinion, right?
Quinion, yeah. And she's like, where's the commander? And he points at Adar, who's just getting on his horse and trying to escape. And Galadriel, she hoofs it. Literally hoofs
she rattles her dags right after him.
Yep. And this is kind of this was my strangest edit that I wasn't a fan of. So she goes after him, right?
Yeah.
And a chase ensues. And I think it's some point Halbrand sees that she's going off after him, and Halbrand's like, I will join the chase as well.
Right.
And so it's this dramatic thing, like, oh, she's catching up to him. She's getting close. And then it cuts to Halbrand, who's in front of them, coming the opposite way.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did he get there? Well, that was the weirdest edit for me.
He knows the land, my lord.
I guess he is the king that was promised.
He took the shortcut, but you skipped over a tiny moment that I've been waiting for 6 episodes.
Oh, here we go.
Where Arondir, I don't know who comes up to him and asks who that is.
I think it's Theo.
You're right. It is Theo. He's like, who was that? Was it looking all Galaddy-like? And
Theo is love struck.
And he's like, Arondir's like, it's Galadriel, commander of the Northern armies. In awe. I'm getting chills right now because I wanted him to recognize Milady.
Recognize greatness.
Mm-hmm. And he did. And I love that moment so much. Had to point it out.
A 10 recognizes a 10.
That's
you know
right.
What I'm saying?
That's right.
Game sees game.
So they chase down Adar. We do a little horse trippy move, which I thought was rude to the horse.
Yeah, what'd that horse do?
But that's what Halbrand does to stop him. And for some reason, Adar doesn't dodge it at all, but we know why. He's actually a decoy the whole time. Spoiler alert. Mm-hmm. He crashes to the ground, rolls, and then tries to pretends to be very concerned with the bundle that we think is the blood sword, gets stabbed in the hand by Halbrand. And there's an extended sequence where Halbrand is about to kill him. Galadriel stops him, and there's anguish on Halbrand's face. Do you remember me? I don't think we've gotten much backstory of Halbrand as
Not
far
in
as
this regard, yeah.
We are to assume from this scene that he has a wife and son that was murdered by Adar.
Oh, I have
or wife and
thoughts.
child.
I have thoughts. We'll get to it.
Okay.
We'll get to it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Are you going to say that he's Sauron? Because I'm going to quit the show.
Yes. We'll get to it. It's a well laid out plan, all right?
But you're right. He did say
he is Sauron, yes.
We skipped a really good moment, or I did rather. I thought this was the ballerest shit that Adar could have said because he's so filled with pain. And it was a Daemon Targaryen moment where he's like, do you remember me? And Adar's like, no, I don't. Who are you? Are you important? Did I do something? Did I kill your family or something? Like, or maybe your wife and maybe like a kid?
Did it hurt someone you love?
I don't remember that if I did. I'm having tinges of it. Nope.
You're going to have to be more specific. I do this like all the time.
Oh my God. I've killed so many people, especially ones that look like you, bitch. And then I said, haha, next to no in my notes.
Galadriel stops him and says, one cannot satisfy thirst by drinking seawater.
And he's like,
what?
That doesn't have anything to do with what's going on right now. Also, I thought the sea was always right. I can't keep up with you folks.
Yeah. Well,
Well, the sea is not
always
right to drink.
Was it right when it killed Isildur's mom?
Yeah,
drowned?
That's a question that needs to be asked in Numenor, my friends.
I have thoughts about the judgment of the sea.
Well, it's like the Zen cone. We'll see.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
We'll see. Thank you. I was waiting on that so I could move forward. We cut back to Antimo and Valantio, and there's this little comedic break where they're unimpressed by Middle Earth.
I like the mountains.
The houses are shit. And compared to the glory of Numenor, this village is quite shite, right?
Sure.
And Isildur decides that he's going to go on the orc hunt with Valantiel. So Galadriel's planning this foray into the forest to chase down the remaining fled orcs. She's just voraciously wants to murder every orc in existence.
As you do.
And but Antimo has no thirst for battle. He says, "Oh, you've had your fill of battle for a week," and he's like, "For the rest of my life, actually, me and Theo are just going to hang out in the bar."
Hey, you know what? I'm there. I'll meet you there, buddy. First round's on me.
Yeah, I don't want to go on the orc hunt either.
Yeah. Why would you want to do that? Like, just let them be orcs.
Waldrig's Watering Hole is really fun to hang out in.
Yeah.
Let's stay here. We still got to rename it, but I like the place. I tell you what, I like it. And we cut to after this, Galadriel and Adar, they're in the barn and she's got him tied up. And there's we find out a lot of lore stuff. He's an Uruk, one of the original orcs. And many people might have known this. The orcs, in my knowledge, were said to have started as elves, twisted by Sauron, and they were called the Moriondor, I think. So Morgoth fashioned them certain elves into orcs, and he's one of those. He's an Uruk, which again is just Elvish for orc. I'm pretty sure.
Uruk,
and he keeps correcting her.
Uruk.
I'm not an orc. I'm an Uruk. It's actually, if you say it quickly, sounds like the same word. It's not.
It's not.
Just want to be clear about that.
Very important that you make that distinction.
Because you're going to offend a lot of Uruks if you call them orcs.
A lot.
And you don't want that.
No.
And then he tells the tale of Sauron. He claims to have killed Sauron. Galadriel does not believe him. Is it time for your theory yet, Steve?
Yeah. He's like, do you remember me? He's like, no, I don't, because he doesn't look like Sauron. He's wearing the face of a pretender king. And you know what he did to him? He cut him open, like he just said. He admitted as much. Adar stabbed Sauron and killed him, and now Sauron.
Are you being serious? You're doubling, tripling down?
Tripling down.
And you're thinking that the anger and recognition.
Welcome to Triple Down Hotel, my friend.
So you're saying, just to be clear to the listeners, Steve is saying that the recognition of anger that Halbrand has for Adar is one of Sauron being angry at Adar for betraying him.
Yes, you heard it here third.
Wow, that's actually, I'm on the fence, Steve. Here's me. Here's the fence. I'm on it.
And he also mentions that, Sauron devoted himself to healing Middle Earth by bringing lands to perfect order. He was seeking power from the unseen world, but it wouldn't, the dark knowledge kept it hidden from him no matter what he did. So maybe this is a Sauron that's trying to take a different tact, like the normal Morgoth-esque evil that we're sort of used to prescribing to a Sauron wasn't working for him. So now he's trying to do the more quote unquote, noble path to try to find something there. He's being a deceiver. He's deceiving his way into these ranks.
Does tend to deceive. Yeah.
He do be deceiving.
Yeah. You're kind of selling me on this. It's juicy. Like the whole idea, we've always thought the idea of Galadriel being so close to her goal the entire time is juicy to me.
Yes.
But the last few episodes have taken me away from that Halbrand Sauron theory, but now you're bringing me back. You're like the mafia.
I'm just not going to fall
me
for
back
these.
in.
I'm not going to fall for these tricks, Sauron.
Yeah, Steve's too wily.
I'm too hip to your
Even
tricks.
once Sauron is revealed to be someone else, Steve is going to think it's a trick.
Yep. I am. I have watched several Who Has Done This films, and I know who has done this. It is Sauron.
Mm-hmm. I'm. Like I said, time will tell, but you're selling me on this. So yeah,
It's gonna be Theo.
Adar resents Sauron, says he killed him. He talks about the one, not in reference to the Matrix, but like the source of all life. And that's where he talks about his feelings about orcs. We are of the same fire as you. We have every right to breathe this air. Sure, maybe not sunlight per se, because they physically can't abide by sunlight.
Owie.
And I could see why you would think someone who can't walk in the sun without bursting into flame and burning a powerful, painful death might be evil, but it's not true.
Are vampires evil?
Yeah. Reel me that.
Are bats evil? Are other nocturnal creatures evil?
But even bats aren't going to burst and like melt in the light. They just don't like it.
Have you seen one do that?
No.
Exactly.
I did have a lot of bats. I used to have a log cabin. There was lots of bats in it.
Oh, really?
But they didn't come
Oh,
out.
that's right. We used to record the show in that log cabin.
Yeah. They didn't come out during the day. They might have melted. I don't know. And then Galadriel foolishly spares him. She says, I'm going to keep you alive. And this was, I know she is obsessed and not thinking straight all the time, but this is where the show was losing me a little bit, like writing wise, just a little bit. Cause she's just like, I'm going to keep you alive to watch me murder every single last orc. And I'm thinking that's definitely not going to go well.
No.
And it was giving me, I don't know, lazy blockbuster movie vibes for a moment. Like this, like maybe in the movie Uncharted with Tom Holland, this might be a scene where they would leave the villain. You know what I mean? Like,
I think they did that. Like, I'm going to leave you alive because you can see me get the treasure.
It's usually the villain that does that, you know?
And that's the one kind of cool thing about the scene that it kind of flips it on the head is that the quote unquote protagonist is doing this. And what she's,
you're right.
What she's, describing is a genocide. She's like, I'm going to just fucking kill every single one.
And it is something a villain would do, which is on purpose. And that's when he said, see, I'm not the only one transformed by darkness. And Galadriel kind of doesn't come back to herself yet. She puts her knife to his throat, says she's going to kill him now, just like Halbrand previously did. Halbrand stops her. I love when she pulls away too. She nicks his throat and he starts bleeding. Like that's how close to doing it she was.
Yeah. She's also so in control because she's an elf. She's so in control of her body that she can like do a cut like that and not be even worried that she'll kill him.
What if he just started bleeding profusely and she was like, oh
shit.
I was trying to do a dramatic thing. I swear to God, I wasn't going to do that. This is awkward.
Get some Alfred seeds. Quick.
Oh, yeah. Let's start shoving them in there. Get a flaming stick. What are you talking about? I don't know. It worked in the last scene.
Nampat?
Yeah, it is Nampat actually. And then we get a scene between Galadriel and Halbrand, and they talk, and she talks about the tragedies that he's been through, and hey, I think you can be free of it. And he says, yeah, you know what? I think I can be free of it. I didn't think I could, but fighting beside you, girl, that feeling. And she's like, I felt it too.
If I could bottle up that feeling and sell it,
I could sell it for so much. On the bottle, it would say fighting beside Galati.
What would be the title of this bottled perfume? It's got to have like a very like Numenor from Galati.
No, it'd be Galati Batty, as in battle. Galati Batty from the brand of Numenor. From
Numenor brings the new scent and fragrance of just feeling okay with yourself. Galati Batty.
But Baddie, I kind of like that more.
Galati Batty. Be your true self on the battlefield of life.
You ever feel like you're never going to get over the death of your entire family at the hand?
Dude from Numenor.
Damn, we could sell some perfume in Numenor. And then I could be free of it. And they have a romantic, you got romantic vibes, right? Like that's obvious.
For sure.
Yeah. They're falling in love, Sauron and Galadriel. And then there's a cool knife wipe. She wipes the blood like, ew, get off my brother's knife.
Icky. I do like the thing where she's like, thanks for pulling me back there. And he's like, was you who pulled me back first. Mm-hmm. My God, he pulled you up.
And then Arondir ran up, licked the blood off of Galadriel's knife. And he was like, yep, that's orc blood.
And they looked at him. He's like, trust me.
I know.
This has been a thing.
It's not eye blood. No, definitely not eye blood. But it's orc blood.
No, it doesn't have the boogers in it. The eye boogers. But they do get blocked by some sort of messenger that's like, milady, the Queen Regent requests your
the
presence.
cock block messenger.
Mm-hmm. The C-3PO of messengers.
Yep. Halbrand has to go. The Queen has requested him. And then we cut to like a bagpipe party, the after celebration of the war. I don't know why I did Ghostbusters just now.
You did like a banjo noise too. And when you just described it as a bagpipe party. Now I want to hear the Ghostbusters theme via bagpipes.
When it's something strange and they're all just dancing around. Damn, Pat. So they're all celebrating. We find out that this is not the first time, but it's the first time I really, really focused and noticed that Queen Regent Muriel had breasts on her armor, which was interesting because none of the other ladies do. Galadriel doesn't have that. So maybe it's a Numenorian style.
Well, she wasn't actually fighting, so maybe her armor is more ceremonial.
Ceremonial breasts.
She's got to look good, I guess. You got to put the ladies on display. I don't know.
Yeah, she looked amazing. Very regal.
Very.
But she comes out and this is where she's trying to reveal the king of the Southlands. She's talking to Bronwyn. Bronwyn's like, oh, I did my best. And she's like, oh, maybe I'll help lift that weight by putting someone else way above you in the chain of command.
Yeah, there's king and then former bartender at Waldrig's Wet Hole.
You are slightly above Waldrig.
Yeah. Slightly.
And anywho,
maybe not even on paper.
And Bronwyn seems excited. She sees Halbrand's sack that has his sigil upon it. What's wrong with that phrasing? That's what he has. He's got it dangling there by his legs around his thigh. Oh no. She looks down at it.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Are you the king that was promised?
That we all know the king that was promised has a big sack.
He's like, I am. Look at this symbol.
Oh no.
And he, in this moment, accepts the kinghood, and they all bow. The king that was promised. The king, we were all hail.
Counterpoint.
All hail Hydra. What?
Counterpoint. Chris, if you and your neighbors banded together and fought off an invading horde.
Yes.
And some of them died. You watched some of your friends. You got an arrow in the chest. It hurt. Owie.
Shoulder.
Owie.
But it bled a lot.
And then some dude shows up at the 11th hour. They do help. But then they're like, hey, we liberated you. Good news, though. You know that leader you've been looking for centuries, or decades at least.
Yeah.
What? He's right here. Found him. And he's like, yeah, I'm your ruler. Bend the knee, you shits.
Whole time.
Would you be A, excited and let out a mirthful cheer?
Yes.
B, confused and ask follow-up questions? Or C, just leave? What would you do?
I mean, I can't ask follow-up questions because it's a monarchy, right? It's not my place. It depends on if the person telling me this was the king had breast armor.
Okay. So, which in this case she does. Yeah.
Honestly,
in this context, yes.
Queen Muriel has possibly the breast armor I've ever seen.
I just thought it was weird that it's
a writing thing. They don't have time to get into it.
Here's your king. And she looks at his little dongle that he has hanging off of his sack. And she's like, oh my God, the prince that was promised.
They could have had a scene, in episode 2 or something in the bar. I almost said in the brothel. I got a House of the Dragon on my brain. In the bar where they were kind of talking about, that he's never going to show up. Like that's all it would have taken for this to work a little better. But it's fine. I get it. I'm just going to pretend that scene was there.
Or even if they do the whole...
It probably was there and they cut it. Like we need another scene on the boat.
We need to get them on that boat.
We need some more slow motion galloping.
Even if it was just a little bit more of a trepidatious,
the king who was what?
My lord. And they're a little more confused.
I can see that.
We don't quite need, because we've been fine this whole time.
Yeah, we're great. I mean, a lot of us are dead and our town sucks and our only business owner was actually evil.
Yeah. Thanks for helping us out. But now
other than that, we're doing good.
Installing a monarchy.
One time, one of our cows shot black stuff out of its udders.
That was weird. You have a remedy for that? McKing?
Yeah, how about that?
McKing?
Real king would know how to fix that ASAP. And then, all hail. I don't know why I have written in quotes after all hail, here's the knife.
Yeah.
Arendir gives,
someone
Galadriel gives the blood sword, which she thinks is the blood sword, to Arondir. And then we cut to Arondir and Theo. He's giving him a pep talk. Sorry. He thinks Theo's really sad because he was bitch made and gave him the sword immediately.
And gave up the sword.
He's like, I've met many people as low and cowardly as you in my life. It's not a big deal. That's basically what he says.
That's your new stepdad.
Yeah, right. Look, sucks to suck, man. Just get over it.
Just own it.
And he's like, no, it's not only that I'm a snitch. It's that actually I kind of want to be evil is what I'm sad about.
I felt so powerful holding that sword.
I did. It stabbed into my forearm. It started to grow multiple times. And that made me feel important. Mm-hmm. Look at my haircut, Arondir. Look at me.
I need this. I need this.
How am I ever going to get a girlfriend without a blood sword?
There are no other girls here.
Literally.
Teresa died.
I was really sweet on her. Galadriel seems a bit out of my league. I'm going to go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to try, but I'm bitch made. Let's be honest.
Without a blood sword, will she ever look at me?
And Arondir's like, well, you know what? That is an ill portent if I've ever seen one. Why don't you take the sword?
Be rid of it. I'm going to risk the entire safety of the world upon you feeling complete on this existential issue. And as a therapeutic salve, I'm going to give you the weapon that cannot fall into any bad hands so you can give it to Numenor to throw into the sea on the way back home. But fortunately, unfortunately, that's not the sword. It's revealed to be a hatchet because Theo was going to look at it one last time.
You know, the more we talk about this, the more I kind of hate this.
Which part? The Theo thing?
The thing with the sword. Because you're telling me that Galadriel gets Adar, doesn't look at the sword, doesn't open it up.
Not curious to see the item that he was running with.
Like, what is this? Because Arondir at one point is like, he's carrying an item. He must not escape with it. She doesn't know what it is. So you're telling me she never looked at it?
How about this? A warrior of millennia can't tell that that's a hatchet?
She can literally see the sunrise an hour before it happens.
She has elf eyes. What do your elf eyes see? A hatchet in a cloth. That's what the fuck it sees.
Yeah. You should be able to like feel it and be like, yeah, that's definitely a hatchet in there. And then she gives it to Arondir. Arondir doesn't open it up to be like, oh.
Who has held the sword?
Yeah, he knows what it feels like. He doesn't open it up to be like, oh, thank God it's there. And then Arondir's like, here, child, who clearly is addicted to this sword. Why don't you take care of it? I'm going to walk away.
Gollum, you want to be really free of this ring? Take it.
Take it to Mordor.
Yeah.
I will leave you unsupervised. Like, I understand if you're like, be rid of it. You go.
I'll walk you.
Yeah, I'll be your new stepdaddy and walk you through this big moment for you. No, he's like, be rid of it. But Bronwyn looking great.
I gotta go.
He
was trying to distract the boy. I need 20 minutes alone with Bronwyn. I got a bunch of Alfred seeds left.
Go play with your sword.
You know, another thing we do Alfred seeds before? Not just battle. I'll tell you that. I'm with you, but I just chalked it up to everybody's really, battle excited. There's been a lot going on.
It's that battle high.
Not thinking much about the sack.
They're all high on the laddie baddies.
But Waldrick had it the whole time. It turns out the blood sword is a key. He sticks it in his forearm, shoves it in the keyhole once it grows to be a sword, turns it, and apparently it was a dam that unlocks.
It turns on the water.
In the dam. And we got a lot that was kind of revealed here, whether it was earned or not. It's for each man to choose for himself. But all of the tunnels that I feel like there's been 3 explanations for what the tunnels are that the orcs have been digging all this time.
At least 2 at this point.
Because they're hiding from the sun. They were also looking for the sword. And also those are aqueducts meant to, once they find the sword, take the water all the way to the volcano and set the volcano off.
That's what we call 3 birds, 1 stone, Chris.
Also,
they're just being very efficient.
They are. Orcs are clever creatures.
Smarter, not harder. All right.
And I'm not a geologist, but I'm not sure that if you pour millions of gallons of water into a volcano that it makes it erupt. But I'm not. Actually, it might. The steam.
The steam. It also, it looked like that mountain
Steaming
was unstable. Maybe it's like holy water interacting with evil lava.
Yeah, that's definitely evil. It's not your average lava. That's evil lava.
This ain't your mama's lava.
And so we get this long sequence of the volcano erupting and the water rushing down, and then shooting fucking missiles all out of its eruption.
This is the birth of Mount Doom.
But we do get a little scene of Elendil, Isildur, and Beric. He's given a bonding moment of how to control a horse that he learned from his mother. Isildur's like, would you teach me, Daddy? Like Mommy taught you? And Elendil's like, no, you're a stable boy. You'll never be more than that.
But a stable boy should probably learn how to talk to horses.
Actually, yeah, you're right. I'm going to retract that decision.
But I'm not a fan of it.
I just want you to know.
I'm doing it out of necessity.
I love your sister more.
Yeah. Also, let's talk about your sister. I'm not a fan of Kemen. We got to break that up.
Yeah, we need to talk about how shitty Kemen is. And then the well explodes. Water goes everywhere. They go through all the little diggy tunnels that they made. The volcano erupts. And yes, you're right. That is the birth of Mount Doom. One of my coolest second breakfasts is that happens right there. But
did I just ruin a second breakfast?
I mean, probably a pretty obvious one that I had there. Sometimes in Moria, they dug too deep. My second breakfast, very shallow digging. More like the orc tunnels at best.
At best.
Yeah. Yes, that is the birth of Mount Doom that we got to witness in episode 6.
Yeah, it's really cool because I don't know if we've mentioned this on the pod. I think we have, but if you look at the Southlands on the map, that's where Mordor is.
That is Mordor.
Yeah, that's Mordor.
We're witnessing the birth of Mordor. The door of Mor.
That's really cool because Adar was like, hey, these lands belong to us and you will find that out soon enough because he knows what Waldreg's doing this whole time. I do want to point out,
we like it hot and we like it lava-y.
The fire, and now I feel sorry for everybody here because now the very air they breathe is a toxic fume.
It's true.
One does not simply walk around.
One does not simply. In fact, there's fucking flaming balls flying from the sky.
People are being
smashing
incinerated.
Into people. Literally. Not a good place.
Shit's blowing up. It's super scary. There were a lot of scenes in here. Like this was actually pretty effective when the volcano's exploding and all the they're not meteors, but like the falling lava rocks are kind of falling down on the town.
Yeah. It's like Pompeii up in that shit.
This was super successful because the stakes were risen enough to where literally if they like lingered on any sort of character that's named, I fully expected a rock to fall on them.
I thought Elendil might get smashed.
I thought Elendil was going to get smashed. I thought, what's his name?
Antimo?
Antimo was going to get smashed.
Ding Dong is what his friends call him.
Yeah. The orcs start chanting Udûn.
Udûn.
I do want
Which
to say
is
there
catchy.
was when the volcano
episode.
explodes. There's this really funny shot. Chris didn't see it because I think you're writing notes, but there's a shot. The shot is focused on Galadriel, I think, and she's looking at the volcano with
The onslaught, yeah.
justified fear. But in the background, like right over her left shoulder, so on the right side of the screen, you see the Queen Regent, and that actress has this face that's so fucking funny. Like, it's not the face is like, oh my gosh, the volcano explodes. It's
like,
the face of someone going like, awkward, not good. Like, it was very funny. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I wish I had seen that.
And the episode ends with the smoke, the fire and the flames of the volcano rushing into the village and consuming Galadriel.
She just stood there and took it. And I like Morvith Clark is incredible, but in this scene especially, she did a very good job of like elucidating tables have turned. Like, she's terrified, but also just so like, man.
We're so close.
I had the fucking Uruk. I had the sword. We won the battle.
Halbrand's king again.
I just planned a hunting party to go kill the rest of them. That's going to be canceled or at least moved back. That's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
To reschedule.
We're going to have to, stop the repairs of the Waldreg's watering hole. I was really looking to see if that ale was still good.
I was going to see if Halbrand wanted to maybe, I don't know, do some Alfred seeds and hang out.
Forge some rings.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
But anyway, that's the end of the episode. Galadriel stands and just lets the onslaught take her. And now that brings us to our second breakfast where we point out some things. We already know that was the birth of Mount Doom. Kind of
Scratch that off.
What do you got, Steve?
Well, the first one's like very.
Lay them all upon me.
This is the surface level one that I have, which is there's a lot of Helm's Deep vibes in this episode, specifically in the very beginning when the orcs are marching
the tower
towards
falling
the tower.
thing. Yes,
yeah, that speaks very Helm's Deep, and I'm kind of glad they kind of shifted the script on what that battle was going to be.
It was weird, kind of on the nose when Theoden they cut to him going, "So it begins." I was like, he's not even there.
Let them come. I did like how they flipped the script on that a bit, where you think you're going to get this Helm's Deep battle in like a smaller fortress, but nay, the tower come crashing down. The other one I have is when Galadriel is chasing Adar. In order to get I'm doing the horse jump. In order to get a speed boost, she whispers and starts speaking Elvish to the horse, and that reminded me very much of when Eowyn does the same thing in Fellowship of the Ring when she's trying to speed Frodo to get him the help he needs. I think she's like like trying to get her horse.
The word she whispers is Norolim, which means run swift.
Oh, it does. You looked that up?
I did.
Was that one of your Easter eggs?
Yeah,
or second breakfast?
Yeah,
second breakfast.
We tag team that one.
Okay, well, high five, my dude.
We're like the Hardy Boys from the Wrestlings.
And the last one I have is the water falling into the volcano was very reminiscent of Gollum falling into the volcano. Yeah,
for sure.
That's my last second brekkie.
Stuff do be often falling in Mount Doom. You're right.
Unless you're a Isildur being bitch made and not dropping no rings.
Isildur. Yes. So the Mount Doom thing, Nampot in the Black speech means death. So that's what they're chanting. They're just going
death,
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 death. I like it.
I'm pro
death.
Uruk means orc. We talked about that earlier. Udûn, the titular Udûn means, or not means, but it's a valley of Mordor. And so the area they're in becomes a region of Mordor called Udûn, which is, so the flame of Udûn that Gandalf refers to is the flame of this area.
Oh, okay. I'm happy to know we finally have an address for that flame.
Yes.
Flame of Udûn.
So if you ever wanted to send the flame some fan mail.
That spot where Galadriel was. Go back to the spot where Galadriel was.
From whence you came. Quenya, we talked about this last time. Quenya is a dialect of Elvish language, as is Sindarin. And then at one point, I forget who even said, it was the Braveheart speech of Adar at the beginning of this episode. He was cheering up the orcs. He's like, hey, we've been through hell all the way from the arid Midrin to the Imin Arnon, not Ethel Marnon.
Ethel Merman.
Yeah, not Ethel Merman, to the Ethel Merman. So arid Mithrin is the Gray Mountains, and the Imin Arnon is like an area south of Gondor, like near Osgiliath.
That's where the people in Gondor, they retire at age 60 and they go there.
They call for aid there at times.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he's talking about, two far reaches of Middle Earth. So we've been from over here to over here. It's basically from the windows to the wall. And then Adar's like, to the sweat dripped. Never mind. Those are all of my second breakfasts.
Those are good second breckies.
Prefaces. On to our Old Toby segment, the finest scenes in the South Farthing.
Toby.
I have no memory of this place, but your love of the halfling's leaf has clouded your judgment. Your number 3 favorite moment in this episode, Steve?
My number 3 moment is Galadriel popping off in that battle. How cool was that to see her ride into a battle? She's so happy she's on a horse. And then she's doing like matrix dodges like around arrows and shit. And they're really nailing the combat for her character, but they're not doing it very often. So when it happens, it's like, yes, more, please. I want to see her crack skulls.
Yeah.
I
need more Gladdy Batty.
In an action scene that had a lot of cool stuff happening, she was 100% the highlight. And I don't know if we talked about this last episode, but her armor is so cool.
So cool. She looks amazing, especially with the braid.
Yeah.
Don't get me started. I can't do this right now. We got to get through this episode. We're almost done.
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is actually the speech or the lullaby, reminiscence that Bronwyn gives Theo. I'm so pleased to have a good moment with little Lord Farquaad. And like I said, I got the chills during that moment, and the whole metaphor of the Númenóreans' arrival calling back to that kind of lullaby thing that she gives him afterward, all of that stuff. So that was my number 3 favorite moment. I love me some Bronwyn. Steve, your number 2.
My number 2 is the birth of Mount Doom. That was I, as a nerd who loves Mount Doom, I like a good origin story.
I just realized it's kind of funny that Antimo is like, I like the mountains.
Oh yeah.
You mean the fucking volcano where everything's going to be centered around?
You mean the mountain?
Source of all evil. Cool. Way to be a dick.
Too soon, Isildur or Antimo, whichever one said it.
Whoever you are, you all suck.
No, as a nerd, I love a good origin story, and seeing the mountain of such ill repute like Mount Doom, like go from this pretty beautiful landscape and then it just blows up, and it's all through the evil machinations of this character.
It's kind of weird to I'm sorry for interrupting you again, but it just hit me. So it's like we've been through the trilogy of Lord of the Rings dozens of times, right?
Sure.
We've seen all of the pain and anguish. Even in the extended editions, you get to see the scouring of the Shire, all kinds of stuff, right? So many tens of thousands of people die in pursuit of this. So much anguish, right? All can be traced back to fucking Waldrig. That's kind of weird.
Hey, it matches because a lot of the strife that happens in Middle Earth is due to the failings of men. So it's kind of on brand.
That's true. That's true.
But it's kind of funny that the man that failed was, I'm just old.
I'm the one that waters down your beer so I can make more money off each cake. And I caused genocide.
Accidentally.
I mean, I didn't know what that was going to do. I didn't want him to kill me.
I just killed that one kid.
Even though in retrospect, what he told me to do was while he was captured and we had already won, and I could have easily switched back to the good side. I actually had no stake in turning that sword.
I'm a spy. I was a spy the whole time.
What'd I do?
What'd I do? He's the Ted of this universe.
My number 2 is the opening scene in this episode with Arondir fighting the army of orcs by himself, knocking the tower down. Again, I love me some athletic elves. It's my thing. Got a thing for it.
Yeah.
So that's my number 2. Steve, your number 1.
My number one, numero uno, is the interrogation scene between Galadriel and Adar.
Really?
Yeah. A couple reasons. I love the way it's shot. Dutch angles for days. I love it when a Dutch angle is done well. And I was a huge fan of the Dutch angles. If you guys don't know what a Dutch angle is, it's when the screen if you're looking at the frame of the film, it's like the camera's tilted. So like the ground isn't even with the horizon. So it's like off. It's like you take the camera and just you lean it on its side.
Dutched.
But
That's
because
what the Dutch do.
yeah,
They're famous for it. And their
famous-
wooden shoes.
They're famous for being askew. I think the Dutch angles really work because they're filming in a barn that has like vertical lines of light. So the lines of light can be angled directly towards Adar or Galadriel, depending on how you Dutch the angle.
Don't you ever hesitate on the queen's name.
So I almost said Morfydd Clark.
Oh, okay. Morvith.
And I like this idea. I really love Adar. I love that he's this character that I'm not going to tell you shit. Oh, you're going to hurt my children. I'll tell you everything. We
Right.
deserve life just as much. Like he's the villain who has a righteous cause where
Which we need. We don't get that much in Lord of the Rings.
Like,
It's so black and white.
orcs suck. Sure. But like
Yeah, they're gross.
the hippy dippy person inside of me is like, well, all things do deserve life. Like maybe if you get them in a better place, the orcs actually have a home that they can settle. Maybe they won't feel like they need to go burn and pillage everything in sight. Right.
Yes.
Maybe they deserve that second chance. I don't know. Probably not. But like, and then on the flip side, you also have our protagonist threatening a genocide with such zeal and
in a extra malicious, nefarious way. Like I
Yeah.
want you to watch kind of shit.
yeah, and what she is saying, like if you're just looking at their words, right? You're not looking at the context of what brought these characters into this situation. If you're just looking at what they're saying to each other in that moment, she is the one saying awful shit.
Yeah.
He is not. And it's such an interesting scene in this world. We also cover House of Dragon. House of Dragon, lives in the world of gray, right? Whereas Lord of the Rings very much is a light versus dark type thing. There's very few.
You might even
instances
say
of
you
gray.
get a gray joy from that show.
Yes. What is dead may never die. So it's refreshing in Lord of the Rings to get a morally gray scene like that, especially with a character like Galadriel that we know is one of the goodest of good.
Goodest boy.
The goodest girls, goodest ladies.
That is the correct answer. But my number 1 is Galati charging in on the horse,
Hell yeah, my
just
guy.
showing her skills.
I feel it.
I didn't go deep at all
No, you're just like
on any of these. It's just the
pure
purest pleasures that I got.
id in there. We're just
Yeah.
like that, more.
I loved
yes,
it.
please.
Coupled with the moment where Aaron Deere was like, "Oh my God, was that Galadriel?" And I'm on your couch, like, "Yeah,
Yeah,
it
bro.
was."
Yeah, bro.
I'm amazed too. So that was my number 1. And with that, our final moment of this episode where we talk about the one performance to rule them all. Steve, I'm very curious. Can I try to guess who you chose?
Of course.
Because I thought about it earlier. I was like, who did Steve choose? Waldrick. I'm kidding. I thought
I
of
was going to
somebody.
say bold move, Cotton.
I thought of somebody. I think you either picked the same person I did, but you were talking about it earlier with such reverence that I felt like, oh, that's who he's going with, that performance.
Okay. Who was it?
Oh, Adar. That's who I think you're going to choose.
100% Adar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joseph Mawley. I don't know if we ever decided how to pronounce his last name, but yeah, it's 100% him. Again, he's playing such a layered, interesting character. So he's able, even though he's just kind of whisper talking most of his lines, he's able to just get across like all this pain, anguish, this legitimate care for the ones around him. And that scene with him and Galadriel in the barn was so good. It was really the only scene in the episode that I felt like was all about acting and delivering dialogue. Cause this episode is very much about action and like, hurrah and fighting and huzzah, we're doing
Good news, everyone.
we're doing the thing. So there wasn't a lot of moments, I feel, for a lot of characters to really kind of branch out and be actors in any extraordinary way. I mean, I guess when like Bronwyn's getting, her medical.
Yeah, you could have given it to Bronwyn.
Like
Sure.
that stuff was good. I should say that, but I don't know. This was just he's such a captivating character, and this was such a captivating scene. I was either going to give it to him or Morfydd Clark again. But I don't know. I think I just gravitate towards the nuance of what that character brings on the page.
For sure.
It's easy for him
He's
to.
a fascinating character.
There's a lot for him to do subtly.
Yeah, he's one of the most fascinating characters ever in this franchise.
And was
I
that your
agree.
choice as well?
No, I oscillated a bit as well. I almost gave it to Charlie Vickers. So I want to give it a runner up to the guy who plays Halbrand. Again, that character's
That's
really
a good choice.
He's better in battle than I thought he would be, even though we saw him like hesitantly. Oh, I forgot about the scene where he was like, "Don't make me." When he kicks the guards' asses, or
Don't make me say it.
don't make me say it, Crush.
Yeah, that's right. He whipped ass in the streets of New
But
York.
it was like that hesitant moment of like, I have the evil talents that you don't know. You're right. Oh, you're selling me against
There's
Steve.
a darkness in him. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there is.
How did he teleport in front of them? Maybe the dark arts. I don't know.
Maybe. But I'm giving it to Ismael Cruz Cordova, who plays Arendir. I think he was excellent in this episode. I love the way that he carries himself as this character. You really get the sense that he's been alive for thousands of years. And he's really athletic. He's good with the stunt work. It may not be him doing the spinning kicks, but good on them. It looks like it is. And he's carrying himself well. And like you said, when he fell off the roof, that stunt was great. The whole fight at the well, even though I wish they had swords, it bothered me that they didn't. They're, battle hardened seasoned soldiers that
Sometimes you got to use your mitts, Chris.
I just don't see this elf who's been in hundreds of battles being like, oh, fuck, where's my sword? Oh, shit. Sometimes you do a little one too many Alfred seeds and you forget important things like your weapon. But that scene was really well choreographed, and his emoting in that, it was very tense. I was like, oh no, your eyeball. And I felt that he felt it. And also the moments that he had with Bronwyn, like those seemed earned and real to me. So I'm going to give it to
That's a good choice.
To that man right there.
I don't know why, but I seem to always forget about or overlook Bronwyn and Arendir in the show when it comes
there's a
to
lot
acting.
going on
But
in
I
the
think,
show.
but I mean, I think you're right. Like you're 100% right. They both did a really great job in this episode.
Absolutely. It was a great episode. Would you say it's the best of the season? Like everybody's saying online?
Ooh, it's definitely, I think
It's up there.
It's up there. It's definitely the most repeatable. Like if I were to rewatch an episode, this is the one that would be like, yay.
Yeah.
The fighting.
I know what you mean. That's bringing our coverage of episode 6 to a close. Be sure to check out our Patreon if you haven't at patreon.com/streamingthings. We just did an episode on Labyrinth.
So fun.
And we had a blast rewatching that. And I think Andy watching it for the first time, right?
Did, yeah.
And a lot of feedback coming through that it's a really good episode. So if you want to hear that, you can go subscribe. Different tiers give you different rewards. You can even be a guest on the show or become a member of our Discord, where we've got a few dozen people that are having a great time talking about different shows and
Popping
movies.
off in there.
It is.
Wow, I literally had to snooze my phone because Discord is just lighting up right now.
Or email us at streamingthingspod@gmail.com with any thoughts or questions on the stuff that we cover. You can follow us on Twitter at streamthingpod. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is going to sound silly, but you can watch us on YouTube at youtube.com/a bunch of random stuff. But just search Streaming Things on YouTube or follow the links in the show notes. And you can see most of these episodes on YouTube in video format. Mm-hmm. Sometimes Steve is frozen and it'll just say Frozen Boy.
Yes.
But I'll be there just yapping away.
There's definitely going to be some Frozen Boys in this episode.
Couple of them.
My camera keeps freezing.
What'd I do?
What'd I do, camera?
That's all the time we have for right now. We love you all so much. My name is Chris.
And I'm Steve.
And this was Streaming Things. Patron shout out. Thank you for your patronage.
You have a beautiful voice.
I don't think I do.
Aw.
It's pretty good.
Don't be so hard on yourself, buddy.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10 would smash. Well, we're doing patron shout outs differently this time, guys. We're going to do them once a month, and this recording will last the entire month. But in this month, we will go over the new patrons that sign up for the month, and also the patrons who upgraded their tiers that month as well. Are you excited to find out the cool people that did such a thing?
I'm very excited.
All right. So let me introduce to you our brand new patrons. For the Try Before You Deny tier, it's Aaron Layton and Crystal Trujillo.
Woo!
Hi, friends.
In the Marty P VIP tier, it's Josh and Anna.
Marty B.
What did I say?
Marty P.
Oh, Marty B, excuse me. How fucking dare you? I've been here for how long and you don't know my name.
The entire time, sir.
You've given me a terrible wound.
What if Marty B's like a Marty P, man?
Well, our new chocolate pudding producers, we have Alex Fisher, Brittany Deck, Enver Psycho. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm surely not.
Probably not, man.
Jen L, Jess R, Mandy Spears, Shannon Myers, and Zach Suthers. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, friend.
Thanks, muchachos.
And our final new patron in the Friends Don't Lie tier, we have thank you so much. Now we go into the upgrades.
That's the road less traveled, man.
These are the people that gave us money before and we thought, hey, what about more money for these guys? Because they're just so giving and full of mirth, all of it. These people upgraded to the Try Before You Deny tier.
Try before you deny, man.
Andrew Gray, Jen Robinson, Casey McCain, John Collins, Kalisha Reeves, Kate, Kiki, and Will Nash. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
And then these people upgraded to the Marty B VIP section. Thank you, A. Wells, Adam Horn, Adam Raymond, Arcade Shenanigans, Barb, Caleb Jeter, Carmelita Valdez McCoy. I love saying your name fully, Carmelita, because it's so cool. Chloe Richardson, Cindy Miller Ray, Elizabeth Hubbard, Enza, Jimmy Gadd, John Madden, like the John Madden. Isn't he dead?
Yes.
Well,
We thought.
Dead. But he's on the cover of Madden 23.
And now he's here to write X's and circles over footage of football players. Thank you, Jadingledge. Thank you, Jadingledge Morgus. Thank you, Katie Blair, Kayla Higgins. It's me, the French Oak. Thank you, Lisa L, Marcus Mills, Michelle Moore, Nick Nolte, Nicole Cassis, Paula Garcia, Sean Callahan, Stephanie Pagalis, Suzanne Rode, and Sydney Day. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
And good night.